Just in, Mark Zuckerberg's ruthless Maui land grab. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. In today's video, we're taking a very close look at Mark Zuckerberg's questionable behavior in Hawaii that makes locals there want him to leave the islands for good. Be sure to watch this entire video, as I promise, you're going to see things that mainstream media absolutely does not want you to see. Let's go. There is a 12-mile media ban in Maui. No journalists allowed. This again infringes on First Amendment rights. Matt Wallace asked, why is the Maui Fire's media ban still in place? What else are they hiding? We can have reporters in literal war zones like Ukraine, but not in disaster areas like Lahaina. Totally normal and not sketchy at all, right? Let's deep dive into more of what's happened. Daniel Zach asked, to my people on Maui, is all of this true? Fire hydrants were dry. Fire marshals were out of town that night. The mayor and the governor were out of town. People who were trying to evacuate were told it was not time to evacuate and to turn around back into the fire. No cops on bullhorns. No firefighters in the streets. Most robust emergency siren system in the world did not sound. No warnings whatsoever. Anomalies with reported wind directions that don't scientifically add up. Tourists evacuated by bus. Locals locked in and told that they can't get back in if they leave. School was canceled. Children were home while parents worked. Hundreds of children burned alive. Can't be identified. A perfect circle of fire around Lahaina. Molten metal next to intact trees. Media reporting fractions of real numbers. New insurance policies taken out on Lahaina before the fires. Who owns Lahaina besides the Hawaiians? The oceanfront property. The government. Wild how all this new uninhabitable land that only big developers can afford to clean up opened up for the plans of turning Maui into a smart island with billionaire funding. How many do you need? It goes on and on and on. Literally surrounded by water, Hawaiian official M. Kaleo Manuel refused to release water in Maui as the fire wreaked havoc and destruction. Manuel is the deputy director of the Department of Land and Natural Resources. Let's listen in as he explains that water should be revered but not used even in an emergency.
The commission is responsible per our authorizing statute to protect and manage all water resources in the state. One Water is like taking it and looking at it from a holistic system perspective, and that's not any different than how Hawaiians traditionally managed water. You know, in essence, we treated Native Hawaiians treated water as one of the earthly manifestations of a god and a kua kane. And so that reverence for a resource and that reciprocity in relationship was something that was really, really important to our worldview and well-being, right? And living in an island isolated from other, civilizations. And so I think where it shifted to today or over time is that we've become used to looking at water as like something which we use and not necessarily something that we revere as that thing that gives us life, right? I mean, to me, it's a shift in value set. And, if we can start to really look at how we as humans in an island can reconnect to that traditional value set. So really my motto is always like, let water connect us and not divide us. Like we can share it, but it requires true conversations about equity.
Another question to ask is why? Why were Maui police ordered to shut down the distribution of emergency supplies to the locals who were affected by Maui fires? Take a look and you'll see even the police were questioning the orders.
Crazy.
I'm not sure the reasoning. All I know is the order has come down to shut down the distribution of these placards. That's all I have for you.
It's absolutely mind-blowing that supplies for families in need are being turned away.
There is extreme corruption going on with the government here. They took 150 meals to be delivered for the people in need that are starving and don't have food or water. They were denied because they don't have a commercial kitchen license. And the boats that are trying to leave and give supplies to Lahaina and the people in need are having to bust through barricades to deliver supplies. So it seems like at every single turn, the government is doing everything that they can to make sure that the people here that need help do not get help. FEMA came and picked up a bunch of supplies and nobody knows where they went. I know in past FEMA situations, they found shipping containers full of supplies never given to those in need. So super sketchy.
Something is very wrong with all of this. I mean, all of it. There are endless videos of survivors, and the stories that they tell are absolutely wild.
It was a firestorm.
I know what.
There was tornadoes of ash the size of charcoal from a barbecue, like being thrown by baseball players. I'm ducking behind walls. I had to kick in the door at Bubba Gump's to get out of it because I was getting pounded.
Yeah.
And then Bubba Gump started on fire, and I'm running down Front Street, and the wall, there's like 80 people, and the ocean was on fire. Firefighter told me because the first layer of ash causes the seal. And then the next layer of ash was all the embers. So the tide line was on fire, and I had to jump through the water
I don't know what I'm
and come up through the fire, and 80 people, they were on the wall, everybody started jumping in. Coast Guard was out there grabbing people, and I was like, no, I'm good. I was born in the water. I'm a Kai. And they're grabbing people, and I swam. I knew my phone was only good for like 15 seconds being submerged, then swam for like a half-mile north. It was like nothing you've ever seen. This was bad that the people in their cars that were dead and from asphyxiation, and the fire blew out the car, and you just saw the numbers of the dead are so wrong.
FEMA also authorized one-time payments of $700 per household to folks who have been displaced, so they can do the immediate things of just taking care of medications and prescriptions that they so badly need.
President Joe Biden announced a whopping $700 for Maui fire victims. The U.S. has sent billions of dollars to Ukrainians, but only $700 to Hawaiians. What kind of message is that sending to the rest of the world? Hawaii's Democratic Governor Josh Green sent a message clearly indicating a land grab by saying that he is already actively thinking about ways for the state to acquire the land that was annihilated by the blaze. Just a reminder, on January 3rd of 2023, Maui announced plans to become one of the first American smart cities, or 15-minute cities. In order for a 15-minute city or smart city to be implemented, the unelected globalists must first control the land with no private ownership. Listen closely to what Green had to say.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land so that we can put it into workforce housing, to put it back into families.
Hawaiians in Lahaina are already getting offers for their now available land from developers. There are many, many coincidences surrounding the Maui fires, but let's take a look closer at this one.
Not that long ago, Hawaiian government officials in the areas that were just affected by the wildfires passed a law saying that land could not be redistricted for new building permits unless some sort or some type of a serious natural disaster occurred. Serious natural disaster occurred. And what did we have happen through those 3 districts of very sacred land to the Hawaiians? A very serious natural disaster. I'm not going to get into space lasers and all of that. But people called their insurance companies after the fire, and the insurance companies for the first time informed them that there was zoning infractions on their land, so they would not honor their insurance policies. And within 24 hours of these people losing their homes, the same developers who the Hawaiian elders fought in court to have that law passed are already calling these people and making them offers for their homes. This is what happens when the government sticks their fingers in everything. The government's in the insurance industry, and they're talking to people who are paying for their campaigns, which are the buyers of this land. And they say to these people, hey, let us know when they call you to get their insurance claims, and let us know when you deny them, so we can then give them a call right away and scoop in and swoop in and be the heroes. So they're going to get this land that they're going to develop into millions of dollars worth of property, and the Hawaiian elders are going to get f*** all. They're going to get screwed over. And this happens everywhere. There's too many coincidences for this not to be shady. Wake up.
And there seems to be so many similar stories about the vultures swooping in on these victims.
Tell you guys, I am so frustrated with investors and realtors calling the families who lost their home, offering to buy their land. How dare you do that to our community right now? If you are a victim, Kalamai, sorry, had a little bit poor reception right there. If you are a victim and they are calling you, please get their name. People keep calling me, sorry. Get their business name so we can put them on blast. I am so frustrated hearing since yesterday that multiple families that I know personally were reached out and offered money from investors and realtors. Shame on you. Shame on you. If you are a Maui realtor contributing to that, karma's gonna come and get you. Okay? That is pilau. And if you are a realtor and they are calling you, investors are calling you to represent them, I hope you have dignity and aloha and compassion to turn them away and tell them off.
Speaking of vultures, Hawaiian natives view Mark Zuckerberg as just that. Zuck owns 1,500 acres of land in Hawaii, and he wants more. In the past, Zuckerberg sued native Hawaiians for their own land. Zuck stole over 1,000 acres of land from the locals. There is history of Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates attempting to purchase all the islands. In fact, in Kauai, Mark Zuckerberg owns more land there than the government of Kauai itself. An article from The Hill explained, in 2017, hundreds of local Hawaiians who owned interest on small pieces of land within his estate were subject to lawsuits by Zuckerberg's lawyers. This is the face of neo-colonialism, Kapua Sproat, a law professor at the University of Hawaii, told The Guardian in 2017. Even though a forced sale may not physically displace people, it's the last nail in the coffin of separating us from the land. Mega wealthy people like Mark Zuckerberg have purchased so much land in Hawaii that native Hawaiians, they cannot own land on their native island. Cernovich tweeted, Hawaii went 2-1 for Joe Biden. All their native land is being stolen from them by Democrats. My heart weeps for Maui, but this is what they voted for. Their land will be taken from them now. Mark Zuckerberg is salivating. Cernovich also replied to a video of former President Barack Obama saying, your BlackRock friends are going to carve up that native land to hand out to Mark Zuckerberg and other colonists and oligarchs. Like yourself, you probably already have your new place mapped out. So who owns the most land in Hawaii and stands to benefit the most by this disaster? Larry Ellison, Oprah Winfrey, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. All of Hawaii will soon belong to the billionaires. One billionaire who is actually helping those in Hawaii is Elon Musk, who tweeted, Tesla and SpaceX Starlink doing our best to be helpful to Hawaii. And by the way, did we ever hear back about those Chinese lasers beaming above Hawaii only 7 months ago?
Unusual sight captured on camera. Japanese and local astronomers say a Chinese satellite was recently seen beaming down green lasers over the islands.
The lasers flash for just a couple seconds. Initially thought to be from a NASA altimeter satellite, The Japanese put out a correction note on Monday saying NASA scientists found a most likely candidate as the ACDL instrument by the Chinese Daki-1 AEMS satellite. I went to a University of Hawaii astronomer who read up on AEMS instruments.
It's a Chinese satellite that is measuring pollutants, among other things. It has many different instruments on it.
Seriously, what do you think is happening in Maui, Hawaii? Is this a land grab by elites like Mark Zuckerberg or Oprah Winfrey? Are the conspiracy theories turning out to be true? Was this a natural wildfire, or was it something much more sinister? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section below, because we do want to know what you think. Did you enjoy this video? If so, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. As always, I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have yourself a fantastic day and take care.